Okay, there's been a few questions, so let's talk a little more about the plan. While Beatty was establishing the plan that the game makers and the other people in the Capitol would see, he was actually setting up a different plan for the rebels. It was important that he explained all of this to Joanna and them to get Katniss and Peeta to go along because they didn't know. And it was important so that the people in the Capitol were not suspicious. He had to make it seem like it was going to be to target the careers. So when they get to the top of that wedge and they are around the tree, Beatty tells Katniss and Joanna that they need to take the wire down to the beach. Peeta doesn't want to leave Katniss. He tries to offer to go and guard her. This is shot down. They need two people to be able to do it quickly. Beatty had sustained an injury and it was his plan, so he needed to stay up by the tree. Peeta has a prosthetic leg. He does not walk sure-footed on the jungle floor, and he struggles. He's only had that prosthesis for a year, starting from the last games, so it's not something he easily does. Katniss and Joanna were able to do it the quickest. So there was no way to do this, and Peeta agrees to this in Mockingjay. He says there was no way to agree to this plan and stay together and not break up the alliance. They had decided that they would wait until after the midnight strike to go their separate ways. So Katniss says, it's no big deal. I will go with Joanna and I will be right back. She says, I'll see you at midnight. As her and Joanna are taking the wire down, the wire snaps because it is cut by the careers. That is the first incident that really throws a wrench in this plan. When the wire is cut, Joanna has to make a quick decision. So she hits Katniss in the head with the coil, and Katniss sustains a really bad concussion. She's lying on the ground. Joanna gets on top of her and begins cutting out her tracker. Katniss thinks that she's attacking her and turned on her. Joanna takes the blood from her arm, rubs it on her face, and tells her to stay down. And then Joanna gets up and runs off. What she's really doing here is the careers are coming. She is making it look like she has killed Katniss. Katniss was screaming in pain, of course, whenever she takes the tracker out. So it makes sense. The careers see Katniss laying there and say she's about as good as dead. So Brutus and Anabaria move on and go after Joanna. Joanna leads them away from Katniss to keep her safe. Assume is happening at this time is that when the coil is cut, Peeta and Finnick know something is wrong. So they go out to try to make sure Joanna and Katniss are okay. I've heard Katniss screaming, and so of course, Peeta would be going to look for Katniss. This is another reason they had to separate, because they would never have been able to cut the trackers out of both of them at the same time in the same area. They would have assumed that they were trying to kill them, and then it could have gotten really deadly. Katniss would have never let them cut into Peeta in front of her. So Peeta goes off looking for Katniss, thinking she is hurt. He runs into Chaff and Brutus. He sees Brutus kill Chaff, and then he kills Brutus himself. Can we just take a minute to say, like, let's go Peeta? Because so many people undersell him. They assume that because he is kind, he is weak, but he was strong enough to align with the careers in the 74th Hunger Games. This man killed Brutus, a career, by himself. At this point, simultaneously, Finnick has left. He is looking for Joanna and Katniss. He's yelling for them both. Katniss is pretending to be dead. Joanna has gone off. Finnick goes to find Joanna because he doesn't see Katniss. Katniss gets up and thinks, this is a bad turn. Clearly they're all working against us. I need to go back and get to Peeta. She goes back up to where the tree is, and that's where she stumbles upon Beatty and is trying to surmise what is he doing. So hopefully this gave some more clarification. I can continue breaking this down if you need. Just let me know in the comments.